The Gambia has taken yet another huge step to bolster the ongoing efforts in the protection of citizens and the environment in the face of disaster. It is so because the National Assembly Monday gave the formal consent for the Gambia to join the International Civil Defense Organization. The motion was moved by Vice President Mohamed Jallow.
The organization has broadened its scope from the protection of civilians and historical monuments in wartime to the protection of people, property, and the environment against natural and man-made disasters. In the same vein, in the face of climate change characterized by seasonal malfunctions with surprise effects on community planning, the ICDO has developed forecasting mechanisms based on information technologies to reduce the vulnerability of people exposed to disasters to have become recurrent, increasingly violent and devastating, as well as risks, some of which are emerging only now.
The International Civil Defense Organization is an intergovernmental entity with a mandate to contribute to a state's development by providing protection and assistance of its population and safeguarding property and the environment in the face of natural and man-made disasters. National Assembly members argued that the move is good, bearing in mind the Gambia's experience on disasters and the lack of adequate resources and trained personnel to always deal with it.
We've seen last July, August, how our cities were affected by natural disaster. And all that was man-made, induced by how we have constructed, how we have allowed our environment to deteriorate by our own selfish want and need to develop our own selfish desires.
One key fundamental thing that this organization is going to stand out to help the people of this country to build their capacities and be able to help them plan well to ensure that when this occurs, they will be able to do the right thing and enable those who are suffering to get out of the mess that had happened.
We've seen flooding, we've seen erosion, and climate change is a reality, and states need to be prepared in terms of natural disasters that might struck you at any time. So with the unpredictable and unwavering climate change that we're experiencing as a continent, I think it's important and it's very apt for us to associate ourselves to this particular international civil defense organization.
ICDO is a membership of close to 30 countries and the headquarters is in Geneva. To remain an active member of the ICDO, the Gambia, like all other member states, has to pay its membership dues regularly and also partake in the organization's international activities in the prevention and mitigation of disasters.
If we fail in our contributions, that means we are also left out. The first thing is you lose your voting rights, and the other thing, as the honorable member for Upper Salum has said, it also enables us to compete as far as the positions in the organization are concerned.
At the National Assembly on Monday, the National Assembly members also gave the formal consent for the military training cooperation between Turkey and the Gambia, brought to the Assembly by Defense Minister Serigne Modou.
The agreement on military training cooperation will facilitate skills development and enhance professionalism in the armed forces and promote efficiency.
National Assembly members called the agreement on military training non-controversial. They emphasized that continued military training is good for the Gambia to help the men and women in uniform prepare for uncertainties in the changing dynamics of geopolitical tension and disasters, now the new world order.
Any development is anchored on the existence of a robust security force.
We really need prerequisite knowledge and skills that will enable the men to perform their duties up to standard.
Turkey is famous for its military training for the Gambian military personnel. The relationship dates back to 1991. It is hoped that the new military training cooperation will only help to complement the already existing ties between the two nations. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Janimbai.